My mother, bless her soul, was searching for something. But what she found was not salvation. It was chaos. And for a long time, it ruined God for me. Let me tell you how. Do you ever wonder how much your childhood stays with you, shaping the way you see the world, even decades later? For me, it was my first experience with religion.
The movement of the Spirit of God.
You want that power? Get down here. Holy, holy are you, Lord.
I was only 9 years old. But that moment, those moments, left a mark on me. A mark that made me question not just God, but normalcy, faith, love. When I was 9 years old, my mother took me to a Pentecostal church. I didn't understand what was happening there. I had never seen anything of the sort. People running around crying, shouting in these strange foreign-sounding voices, faces twisted with emotion. And me, I just wanted out.
Now let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Are you in training?
For what?
Being a preacher?
Like, I'm not taking classes or nothing.
Would you like to speak tomorrow?
If it's the kind of thing you think I could do.
I believe you could.
Okay.
Everybody, before you leave tonight, I'm going to tell them, you can't back out.
Okay.
I didn't feel comforted. I didn't feel inspired. I just felt scared, confused. It wasn't a place of peace. It was a place of chaos. I didn't understand why we were there or what this was supposed to teach me about life or God. All I knew was that I wanted to leave and never come back. My mom wasn't a stable woman, emotionally or mentally. She was struggling. She didn't have much. No real support system, no partner to lean on. She was looking for something to fill the emptiness inside her. And the church, they offered her a lifeline, a place to feel seen, heard, needed. But the thing is, she wasn't just finding God, she was being exploited. Not for her money, because Lord knows she didn't have any, but for her soul, her vulnerability. I watched this happen over and over. Every time she had a breakdown, she'd run to the church. They'd pray over her and lay hands on her and lift her up until she collapsed, crying on her knees. I didn't understand it, but looking back now, I can see how desperate she was. And I can't help but wonder, were they really helping her, or were they just feeding her delusion? As a kid, all I wanted was normalcy. I wanted a mom that could teach me about life, how to be strong and thrive and survive. But instead,
your mother is here with me.
There was a time, I can hardly believe it now, when I had my mom convinced that she could talk to God through me. She would ask me questions and I would supposedly pray, and after a few minutes, come back with an answer. I just wanted her to be okay. I just wanted her to be happy. I wanted to fix her, but I couldn't. No child could. As I grew older, I started seeing things differently. I saw my mother not as a person who was supposed to guide me, but as someone who needed guidance herself. She was searching for hope, for purpose, for salvation, and the church promised her all of that if she just believed enough, prayed enough, sacrificed enough. But life doesn't work like that. Life isn't about magic fixes or divine interventions. It's about hard work, about people showing up for each other, about love, not the kind you preach about, but the kind you act on. For the longest time, I blamed her for everything. My chaotic childhood, my lack of guidance and direction, my mistrust of faith. But as I sit here today sharing this with you now, I realize something. My mom was just a person, a flawed, struggling, hurting person. She didn't have the tools to do better. And I can't fault her for that. Not anymore. I'm 54 now. I haven't spoken to my mother in over 20 years. Writing this has been cathartic. It has helped me to see her not as someone who is the villain in my story, but rather someone who is just lost. And really, isn't that all of us sometimes? I don't know if I'll ever be able to believe in God, but I do believe in people. I believe in the power we have to lift each other up and help each other, not through prayer, but through action. So here's my takeaway. God isn't some invisible man up in the sky pulling strings. God is in us, in the way we care for each other, in the way we love, in the way we work together to make this world a better place. If you've been hurt by faith, by religion, by people claiming to speak for God, I want you to know that you're not alone, and you don't have to carry that hurt forever. Forgive where you can, heal where you need to. And remember, the power to change your life, the power to help others, to be the light in someone's darkness, that power is already within you. If this story resonates with you, I want you to let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so we can continue to share these important conversations.